Okay, everyone. So we are just now getting ready to live stream on Facebook. And if you are joining us right now, we are just waiting for the vaults. They're having a little bit of technical difficulties on their end, but they should be joining us momentarily. So while we've been sitting here listening to them, I was sharing a little bit about we have some others joining us right here on the webinar, and I was sharing a little bit about what I learned. I went to a digital summit conference, and it was really, really cool. So I've been sharing about what I learned on that digital marketing conference. And one of the big things I learned that I was just sharing is about content marketing and how important it is. I actually went to a 4-hour seminar that was all about content marketing. And it takes a good 4 to 6 months for your content to really pick up traction. But I know that some of you kind of have stopped blogging because it sort of can feel like a little bit of a waste of time. But it's actually really, really, really important. And positioning yourself to be an industry expert is really the most important key. So that was really interesting to learn. And gosh, we have all kinds of crazy stuff going on here today. So hopefully the vault will be joining us soon and we can get this. Okay, I'm getting a call. Hello, are you guys still having some issues?
We are, but we're going to do it mobily.
Okay, perfect.
What is the meeting ID?
Let's see. The meeting ID is, give me 1 second here. Hold on. I have to look it up. Give me 1 second. And
I'll get my Facebook.
Leave Facebook, open app. I am just trying to, I think the meeting ID is, okay, where can I find that on here? Chats, stop video, share. That's not it. Okay. So the meeting ID, I think, is 961-397-252, and that is thanks to Tracy and Neil. Okay. Thank you very much. Yay! There you are. I can see you, but I can't hear you. So this is good. Hold on a second. Give me a second here. And bear with me. Panelists. Yep. Okay. Oh no, you just went away. Oh no, you were just there and you just went away. Come back. It was also perfect. Okay, you're there. We just can't hear you. I can see you. I can totally see you, but I can't hear you. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Okay, we can see you. We can see you, but we can't hear you. But we can see you. This is awesome. We can see you. We just cannot hear you. So let's see. There should be a button on the bottom There's for video and a separate one for audio. Yeah, so Neil is saying, look on the bottom on the app, and there should be a video and an audio. Do you see a little microphone for an audio? Thank you, Neil, for that help. So we cannot hear you guys. This is so lovely. Let's see, we're so close. We are so close. So where you're hitting, Diana, where you're hitting on the video, is there not one for audio? Is your phone turned all the way up? The volume on your phone turned all the way up? And it should just look like a little microphone. If anyone else, Neil or Tracy or anyone else is calling in from the app, if you're able to look at the app and see, if you're able to look at the app and see what they're seeing. I'm gonna try to go into the app myself and see.
Hello?
Oh, wait, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay. I don't know what happened. It just switched.
No, I don't know either, but you might need to turn it all the way up so we can hear you
It
guys.
is.
So can you see and hear us now?
We can see and hear
Okay.
you.
Should we get someone to hold the camera?
Yep.
Oh, this is so funny.
So sorry. You picked the most untechy people.
It's totally okay. We did it. We totally did it. Hello, everyone.
Thank God we got video because I put lipstick on for you.
Oh. Well, I feel honored that you put lipstick on. If you see my weekly videos, I don't even always wear makeup, and I put makeup and earrings on today for you all lovelies. So
We're in a horrible back room. It's not really pretty, but we're here.
it's
We've got
beautiful.
7,000 square feet of gorgeous space and we're in the break room.
I live it. It's real, like live action.
Well, we could walk through, show them the showroom and end in yours.
Yeah.
Let's see what she wants.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. We'll definitely do that. That'll be a great grand finale, but let's not move the camera right yet. All right, so everyone who's joining us, welcome. We are here with Diana and Laura and Sue McCarthy. Do you have a copy of your book?
We'll get you one.
Okay, so you can hold up your book. And let's see. So I want to just start by introducing how Sue, I'm a really big fan of defining moments. Like, to me, a defining moment are those little golden opportunities where life presents you an opportunity, and then let's see, I'm getting a noise. I gotta turn my sound down here. So let me turn this down, and we'll see if my tech guy, my husband who's filling in as my tech guy for
I
me
wish we
today.
had your tech guy.
Anyway, those are like little slivers of opportunity where like you seize them and then they're totally life changing. And when I was reading through your book, it was like monkey bars of like defining moment for all of you. So what I would love for you, Sue, to start with you is to take us through how you kind of went from doing hair for corpses, which just cracked me up, to starting your painting business, to starting a resale business. And before you answer that question, something is still giving us a lot of feedback. So anyway, I think I got to handle that on my end. So you go ahead and start us out, answer that question.
Well, what I would say, I think more than anything in my life, I believe you're always exactly where you're supposed to be at any given moment in your life. So if you do believe that, you can't make a mistake, you can't do anything wrong, whatever you do is exactly what's supposed to happen. So with that, oh wait, sorry. We are the least techy people in the world.
And we have a tech gal and she's off today. We said, we don't need you.
Okay, but anyway, so with that, I was in a thrift store and I'm looking around a thrift store. We had always shopped rummage sales and basement sales and that type of thing. And I happened to be in a thrift store one afternoon and a woman said to me, there's a thing called a consignment shop. And I thought, oh my goodness, well, I want to check that out. So I walked in that door and it really was a light bulb went on. And I knew at that very moment that it was what I was going to do. And I knew I would do it better because I just looked around and thought, why does it have to be dark and dingy and no organization? It just took so little to make it good. So with that good, better, best mentality, we did it. I opened a store. I said to my husband, and I was running a very lucrative wallpapering and painting business. And I said, I think I want to do this. And he's always been supportive, do whatever you want to do. And so I did. So it was wonderful.
So talk about, Laura, this question is for you. What was your defining moment to join your mom in the business?
What was your defining moment to join mom?
So I had been working for her, part-time here and there. And then I personally saw a need for a more boutique type resale for children's. We had chain stores in the area, but we didn't have like just a, solidly run high end for children. So that's when I branched out and opened up Purple Cow about 18 years ago.
And it's like you say about your kids, your kids, they come and, they take and take and take, but then when they're in a position to give back, they go off and start their own business. But Laura immediately she was waitressing tables while she was in college. And I said, Laura, why would you do that and stay up all night? Come and work for me. So she immediately took to it like a duck to water. She was good from the beginning. And then when she got really good, she said, I think I'll open my own store. But then we wowed her back eventually.
So the Purple Cow's still up and running 18 years later, fully staffed.
But it's the vault.
But it's housed in the vault now as well. So we all sort of came back together and, so I got to come back to the adult world again.
So you were independently running the children's consignment store.
Yes.
Completely separate, your own staff, your own everything, completely separate from, at the time it was.
And when we got this beautiful 7,000 square foot showroom, it was more than enough to house everybody under the same roof.
That is fantastic. So you guys could just completely merge together. I mean, how beautiful is
Yes.
All right, so Diana, what was your defining moment for joining the business?
I was traveling a lot. I worked for a company that did Fortune 500 incentive travel for companies. And I said that I didn't want to come off the road and quit until I had seen all 7 continents, including Antarctica. So once I did, then I came off the road. I was in advertising for a while and marketing. And that's when my mom said, we can afford to hire you if you do all of our events and marketing here. So that was about 8 or 9 years ago. And I've been doing our events and marketing ever since.
Which really has taken us to the second level. Her marketing events have literally put us on the map. So it's been spectacular.
Okay, well, I do
We
have
roughly host about 20 a season.
20 events a season, and tell me what defines a season.
Spring and fall.
Okay, so you're probably looking at about 40 events a year.
Correct.
Oh yeah, at least, yeah.
Which draw huge crowds, new customers. And part of a component of all of our events is that we have a charitable component that we give back to as well. So, all of that, all of those algorithms are, driving our business upwards. and getting lots of attention
Yeah.
on even a national level.
Yeah, many of our events are private events. They're not fashion shows that we do, although we do stuff like that. These are private companies that come in. We do the food, the drink, and we also donate a portion of sales to whatever their cause is. So we work with YWCA, Boys Club, Girls Club, Matthews Dickey, homeless shelters, anything that you can imagine, any charity that would want to raise money, they do a shopping party here.
And there are so many different levels of doing it. Sometimes we have, you know, valet parking, higher end food. Sometimes we just have small bites, you know, that we get at the local store. But, you know, they're tailor made to whatever they wish for.
So do you think that, you know what, I think do you guys have me on computer and on your phone?
I do, but we can't hear you if
we take you off computer, we can't hear you.
I got it. Okay, that might be where the extra feedback's coming from.
sorry.
No, it's totally okay. We were trying to figure out the feedback thing, but I think that's where it's at. No problem. It's totally fine. And so when you're doing events and you're bringing people to your store, do you find it difficult to get people to come to your events? Or do you think because
No, what you have to know about our events, it's not us bringing people, it's the event people. Like, let's just say YWCA, we had a huge event, and they have their mailing list. Those people come. We don't have to try to get people to come.
Yeah.
So then we would have 100 people come for that event. So that when you think of, you sit on the board of YWCA and someone comes to you and says, you know, we can host your end of season party, and we're going to provide all the food. We're going to provide valet parking and a wonderful space for you to have this party. And believe me, they jump at it.
Yeah.
So then they're bringing the people. It's not us bringing.
In fact, we don't even advertise for a lot of them because it is a private party. We are a venue.
Yeah, so we don't ask our people to come.
Yeah.
It's their people. However, each time we have that, then we pick up 50 new customers.
We do.
Literally half of those people now become customers because now we have wooed them into our store through their organization. And now they become a lifelong customer.
Yeah, repeat.
Yeah,
brilliant. So that is the little key right there. Is
that's
you
the
have
key.
That's the
something
key.
on. That's the secret sauce.
Yes. And in addition, we also do our own events. We're hosting our first Facebook Live virtual fashion show this Thursday at 7 p.m. So we're doing interesting events on our own as well. But I would say 75% of our events are private parties.
That is awesome. I'm definitely going to tune in for your Facebook. I can't wait to see that, your Facebook Live fashion show.
Hopefully we'll get the technical challenges out of the way. Yeah, we literally have a hair and makeup artist that's coming in to do hair and makeup for our models.
We have professional models as well as staff.
Yes, it's going to be quite the event. One of our buyers decided to take this whole fashion show on, and she's been rat piling amazing handbags, shoes, clothing, and accessories specifically for this fashion show.
For
So
6 months.
it's going to be something else.
Wow, that is phenomenal.
And if you get a glass of wine, sit on your couch in the comfort of your own home, and you can watch this. You don't have to get dressed up and come out.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a lot of our customers that are hearing about it, and they want to come, and we say, no, you can't come. It's only live video.
I love that, like turning people away. Like, no, you cannot come to our store. You have to.
Right.
No, don't.
You have to watch from the comfort of your own home with slippers on.
That is so freaking brilliant. I love it. I am totally going to attend, and I will be there with a glass of wine and some fuzzy slippers.
Yes. And feedback. We want to hear a lot of feedback.
Awesome. So talking about feedback, if you're listening to us right now, whether you're on the webinar itself or on Facebook, if you have any questions, please jump in. I did prepare a list of questions to ask today, but this is definitely for all of you. So please feel free to jump in and ask any questions if you have any. So we're going to move on, and I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to go back to a couple things I read in the book. You met Valentino. What
Yes,
did you possibly
we did.
see?
We were at the chicest cocktail party in New York. And I mean, you know, you just find yourself in those places and you just look around and want to pinch yourself. And it was Diana and I said to Diana, I said, who is that gentleman over there? I knew that I knew him. You know, of course, it's a very familiar face. And I said, who is that gentleman? And she says, Mother, that's Ralph Lauren. So, I mean, it was just the upper echelon of
Who was
the
there to
fashion.
hear Valentino?
Yeah, he was there to hear Valentino along with us. And then at one point, Valentino literally walks up to me and he was introduced to me and he said, oh, Suzanne, I love your earrings. And he literally touched my ear and he was looking at my earrings, which I thought, well, I guess I should get, you know, you don't give your earrings to Valentino like I did to Rachel Zoe. But I said to Diane, take a picture, take a picture.
Which we do have hanging.
Yes,
in the
we do have that picture of Valentino touching my ears.
But tell them how you got to the party.
Yeah, so we
Through
were
a closet.
doing a celebrities closet, and she wanted us to come, and I said, you know, it's not working out in our schedule to fly to New York. And she said, well, if you do, I am going to a cocktail party with Valentino, and of course I would take you and Sue.
So, you know, needless to say, we said, well, we're there.
We're there.
See what you get through closets?
You know, speaking of closets, a lot of the people that are selling the book in their store, we've heard from 3 shops that say their closet buys have increased substantially because now people say,
Do you do that?
yeah, do you do closets? And after reading the book, then they want them to do closets. So, you know,
That's
we
very
have really raised the bar on getting into some of the finest closets in the world. And it's like, you know, maybe it wouldn't even be someone that buys the book, but she would have a friend who has wonderful things.
Right.
So it has really raised the closet of where you're getting in to buy this wonderful stuff.
Awesome. And we just posted your link for your book. So if you don't have a copy of the
wonderful.
book and you're watching, you can go buy it on Amazon. We just posted that on our Facebook group right now. So you can click right there and go grab your own copy if you're watching.
Yeah, and you can buy,
And
if you buy in bulk, you get a discount.
so if you buy in bulk, you
and-
get a discount.
Yeah, you get a discount so that you can make a little money and raise the closets that you're doing in your store.
Brilliant. I love that. So you get this amazing book to sell, and it's also a marketing tool all at the same
Right.
one, like
Very
multi-purpose.
much.
Well, you know, like Colleen, when we did our television show, I can't tell you how many people told me, and I mean, you know, I was just in Vancouver. We just got back from Vancouver last night, and I had people in a resale shop in Vancouver say that they never would have dreamed of shopping in a resale store until they saw our television show. And then they thought, well, I'll try the store in my area. And so that's what brought them to resale. And same thing with the book. I never would have thought about having someone in my home because I don't have time to bring my things in. But since I've read the book, I'm gonna, you know, have you in my home.
That's brilliant. And I think that you have done so much for the resale industry along those lines of making it like fashionable and making it like cool and hip and trendy and giving longer life as well to the luxury lines. You know, someone like
Right.
Valentino and a Ralph Lauren, you know, I hope that they look at you and understand what you do and appreciate what you do because you're keeping them around longer and you're spreading the joy for, you know, women like me. Like I wouldn't go and buy an original Valentino. You know, it's like, I'm sorry, honey, we have no furniture, but I have this beautiful coat we can like
Right.
have picnics on.
I think we've also shown that the secondary market can really produce super high end, and it's not just things that people are discarding. It's the latest Dior bag. We were just in Vancouver and went to Dior, walked around Dior and said, we have that bag and we have that bag in our store. I even called the store back in the States and said, hold that bag.
Yeah.
So along those lines, Laura, this is a great lead in. Sue refers to you in the book as a label savant. So
She is.
tell us about that. How did you learn about labels? Because that wasn't, you know, it wasn't really what you went to school for. And let's just
Right.
say you've been studying kids' clothes. So how did you?
Well, it's funny, when I started the Purple Cow 18 years ago, I didn't have kids. And I said, and at that time, our women's store was a consignment only. I decided opening up the kids, I was just going to be buy outright. And so I was just kind of on a wing and a prayer and just learning as I went along, but learning those labels and then having a serious shopping problem as well kind of introduced me to, I've seen Ula Johnson, I've seen Zimmerman, I've seen Isabel Marant, and really just familiarizing myself with those labels like I had done back in the day to just immerse myself in children's clothes. Again, I didn't even have kids.
She didn't even know what a pack and play was.
I didn't know. I had to call a friend who had a resale shop for kids, a consignment resale shop. And I said, what is that thing that you put kids in? And then
Like a jail.
they move around. And at that time it was called a walker. So, you know, the first 3 years we were in business, proudly, we were the top children's resale shop in all of St. Louis performance wise.
And children's boutique.
And children's boutique, just children's boutique, not even resale. So I took that knowledge then when I was a little bit older and came back to Sue and said, you know, we've really got to study these more obscure labels and we really have to know, you know, what's coming in. I think it's really important to know what is coming in because you're always going to have those suppliers that are like, I bet you don't know what that is. And it's so fun when you do know what it is.
Yeah. And you know, it's more than the heritage brands. I mean, everybody knows Louis, Chanel, and Gucci, but Laura has her, she is on the cutting edge of what is up and coming and hot. And she knows, I mean,
And what's gonna pop.
and what's going to pop. Like, you know, she took a pair of shoes the other day and I was like, Laura, you know, why would we take it? And she said, Mother, those are really thin. I probably would have passed on them. And yet she was absolutely right. I mean, that's her expertise.
The Dior saddlebag that 10 years ago we were passing on, even 5 years ago. It's going for $1,600 right now. So it's important to educate yourself on what's coming to your counter so that you can look to your customers then as the expert and letting them know also that you know and that this is hot right now.
Yeah.
So
And
what
we work
kinds of
with so
public?
many stylists.
You work with a lot of
With so many
stylists.
stylists that want to know that we have certain goods.
Right. And really at the end of the day, if you don't know a lot of the labels, how are you going to know what to pay? And since we're buy outright, we have to have that knowledge quickly.
So what kinds of resources do you use? Do you look at, do you read Vogue magazine? Do you know, like, what do you read Women's Wear Daily? What are
Actually, you know, we do a lot online. There are, you know, there's a wide net of online stores, Shopbop, Revolve, Blue Fly, Nordstrom's even. I mean, to educate yourself on labels. Shopbop is one of the leading trends where you can see Zimmerman is hot, Ula Johnson's hot. You know, just
You
kind of
follow all stylists. too.
yeah. Oh yeah, tons of stylists. Yeah.
fantastic? Thank you for sharing that. And I hope that some of our other listeners who are going to be watching this video are going to be able to tap into some of that and get some of that savantness that you have.
It's a shopping
Okay.
It's a shopping problem. Believe me, but they do recycle.
Yeah, we call it research.
Yeah, you know, we don't mind picking up a Birkin bag and, you know, Laura will carry it for a while. And then she says, you know, I'm done with this. Diane's carrying Laura's carrying the Yves Saint Laurent now. So, I mean, they're always having the cutting edge bags because that's what we showed. I mean, we are icons in the metropolitan area in fashion. So we have to have the look.
But you don't ever have the bag.
I don't,
Mom
you know,
has the shittiest handbag always.
I carry a Bagalini. I mean, who am I going to impress?
So what did you wear the night you went to the fancy party with Valentino? What did
I wore Valentino.
Yeah.
I wore Valentino. I had an exquisite Valentino dress and it was absolutely perfect. And I bought it from a supplier. I mean, you know, not to bring religion into it, but you know, I live an absolute perfect charmed life. and I live in God's perfect favor. And that Valentino dress would present itself to me, 3 weeks before I go to see Valentino.
That would fit you.
And it fit me. It was perfect. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I felt really good about that.
So if you see the most amazing designer dress, is that like a cue of like, oh my gosh, they're coming in my future, I better buy it?
Well, we have a customer that just called us a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and said, I have been invited to Ralph Lauren's 50th anniversary show for New York Fashion Week, and was wondering if we had something Ralph Lauren that she could wear. So we had a couple that we presented.
So, and it has to be couture. We couldn't just give her anything. So, it just comes. We are incredibly blessed. And because of the book, I am blown away by the success of the book. I never dreamed, it's just a cute little book. I never dreamed that it would be so well received. And now we have national press
in New York,
big, that we cannot even talk about. And as soon as we can tell you about it, we will. But now we have 2 or 3 huge national and international people that are working with me because of the book. So I never, and I dream big, but I never could have dreamed this big.
Well,
so hopefully everybody will get visits because of it.
I want to comment on that. So one of the things that I've noticed too throughout your book, and then Diana and Laura as well kind of followed suit, but you all 3 are very, very intentional. So you see something, you decide and you take action. And I think that is really important. And I want to bring that up and talk about that a little bit, because as a business owner sitting back and looking at your glorious life, I could kind of be like, oh, I'll never have a TV show, or how can I live that life? But I think that everybody has the same opportunity to grow their business just like you have. I think one thing I see as a key element is that intention and that purpose to take action. What do you think about that?
Well, I can answer that. We look at about 1,000 items a day here in store. We have 15,000 suppliers around the country and world that we work with as well. But because we buy outright and we buy fast, we've become kind of laser focused on making quick decisions. Like Neil always talked about the egg timer. That's kind of how we feel on making daily decisions. Yeah. We have a large staff, so we need to be intentional just to properly lead them as well. So yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
And we're never gonna try. We don't have to try purple Prada sweater pants just because of the label. We're good at not being blinded by labels,
right?
And we buy with laser focus, as she said, but things that we know are a sure sell for our customer base.
So we're making quick decisions daily.
Yeah. Right. And I have to say that we run our business at this point in my career, literally to make a difference. I don't need money. I don't need fame. I would like for any young person or any person in business to look at me and say, you know what, if she did that, I can do that. And I've always run our business with honesty and integrity. We're not here to see how cheaply we can buy things. That's not our mission at all. And many times we pay a lot more than consignment shops. But we always, and I mean always without fail, do the right thing. And whatever the right thing is to make that woman across the counter happy or feel good about herself is what we do. And that really is the intention and the secret to our success.
Right. And I'm so glad you brought that up. It's a great segue into my next couple of questions. Let's talk about doing the right thing, and let's talk about your other customers that you serve. So we've talked about your suppliers. Let's talk about your customers, your buyers. So you talk a lot about customer service. Share with me how, do you I'm sure have some policies and procedures in place, but where is that line of always, is the customer truly always right? In your store, is the customer truly always right? Like, how have you never kicked anybody off? You have no bad reviews. How is that possible?
No, we did. We just had a bad review, which was spectacular.
It was like the best review ever.
It was the best review ever, but tell them about the review.
You know, we're in a precarious business. We all know that. Unless you're in this business, you just don't know. But, you know, we're under more scrutiny because we deal with people, we're making deals, and as everybody in our industry knows, you can't make everyone happy. I had a gentleman in here a couple weeks ago that was selling me a pair of Gucci tennis shoes that I was probably going to sell for $450, but I know they're really hot. So you have to know when to switch gears.
Yeah.
Sometimes you pay more. Don't be so rigid on payment. So, you know, I ended up, I was like, you know what? He had to have $250, and I was like, okay with that.
Yeah.
And knowing that I could sell him for $450. So I paid him $250. He wrote a review a day later, and he said, I got lowballed at the Vault Luxury Resale. They lowballed me. They paid me $250 for tennis shoes. But it turned out to be the best review ever. I was getting Gucci shoes in right and left.
Because they're like, oh my God,
You paid more than
$250 for used tennis shoes?
yeah, it was pretty.
$275. It was.
It was
It was
$275. That's
$275.
right.
And we
Because-
sold them for $400.
Yeah.
That was the,
Yeah.
and so, I mean,
Because sometimes you've got to be like, if it's a super flippable item, don't be
Yeah.
so black
and
and
like
white.
I said, as soon as we started the buy outright model, I would say to the girls, how many things can you make $100 on?
Yeah.
You know, you can make $100 just like that. So
It's-
now it's how
yeah.
many things can we make $1,000?
And if you have a list of people that want something, know when to switch gears on payment.
Right.
So, and you know, what I say to my staff, and I just recently heard this, if yes is not within your vocabulary, if you can't say yes to any situation, any customer,
Yeah.
come and find me.
Yeah.
Because there is no such thing as anything less than yes. Yes, we will do it. Yes, we will give you all your money back. Yes, whatever it is that is going to make you happy, we will do it. Because that one customer, that one woman that we make happy can be a megaphone to the rest of the community. And so if it's only one, we just had a woman in yesterday, bought a pair of Hippolyta earrings, and she brought them back. She didn't understand. She said somebody told her they were solid gold, which we didn't do that. You know, nobody would have said that. But and they said, I said, yes, please give her all her money back. And she ended up spending that money and more.
Plus.
Yeah.
So,
And why
it
make
happens
somebody
so
mad
rarely.
and then they're not going to come back?
No.
Have your policies set, but also be okay with, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes
making people happy.
bending.
And just like in the back room, you know, we're not high pressure sales or buy in the back room.
No.
And our buyers, this is the deal. No one leaves upset or mad or feeling like they got gypped. And what we say to the suppliers, if they're on the fence and you're feeling it in your gut, you know what? It has to work for you. It's not personal. It's just business. And I've had a few people walk away with their things saying, "Oh, thank you." Some people just need an out.
Yeah.
and,
But
and
then leave happy. That's all that
right.
matters.
And that's yes is the only.
I'd rather
answer
them
on
leave
everything.
happy than me keep a Chanel handbag or
Yeah.
something, and
And we don't need it.
we don't need it.
And that's what we say. We don't need anything.
Yeah,
Whatever
not
we
at the
get-
detriment of an
Yeah.
unhappy customer or supplier.
Yeah.
So that is another amazing little secret sauce nugget right there. So I hope that who's ever watching and continues to watch this in the future, that we are probably on like nugget number 5. You know, there are some key success nuggets that are really, really important. So that's another great one right there. Is just always say yes and make sure
You know,
that
just recently happened to me in a store too. This is unbelievable. I was just recently in a store somewhere in the country. I won't even say where. And I walked in and I sat down on a chair in the store. And this salesperson came up, and it was a plastic chair. And I was just waiting for my group. We were with a huge group. And she walked up to me and said, "Oh, I'd rather you didn't sit there. You know, these items belong to someone else." And I thought, oh my, it was unbelievable that someone would say that to any customer, certainly not to me. You know, like you don't know, but by the way, we consign, these belong to somebody else. But I thought to myself, oh my God, she certainly wasn't an owner. And so my point in this is you do not ever know who you're talking to. And, you know, I was dressed okay, you know, but for some reason she took it upon herself to make me uncomfortable. And I would die to think that anybody in our industry,
Right.
certainly in my business, would do that to another person.
And in our store with everyone, I mean, we have a Nordstrom's rack down the street. They don't even give you the side eye when you walk in.
Yeah.
But we hit everybody. Not only do we hit everybody, have you been in before? We're not overly aggressive, but we want them to know you're welcome here. And we offer water. And, you know, it's acting without hesitation. It's service without hesitation, always.
Yeah.
And not to do anything to make anyone feel the least bit salty.
I love that, acting without hesitation and service without hesitation. So that's gonna have to be nugget number 6. That's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so along those lines, you guys are perfect because you just keep segueing into my next set of questions. So the next set of questions
I'm glad
is
we just got on.
so the next set of questions dovetails into your staff. Like, let's talk about your staff. And so you travel a lot. You just got back from a girls trip away. You travel a lot. How do you stay in touch with your staff? Do they text you, you know, throughout the day? Here's how the store is doing. Like, what kind of empowerment do you give your staff, and how do you hire and train your staff to be mini yous when you're not there?
You know, we're away a lot. Let me answer this. And we were gone recently for 5 days, and I never talked to staff one single time.
Nor did I.
Nor did she. And maybe Di, did you? No. And all that we got was in the evening, we like to get a text to see what our sales were. But our staff is off the charts, phenomenal. We have complete faith in them, and we have set them up to be empowered to act as we do.
I mean, if you're constantly on your managers or your staff, they don't have room to grow, or they don't feel that empowerment. And we completely trust
Yeah.
that the store is running as it would be if we were here.
Yeah.
But how did you
And
get
we're
that
gonna
point?
be gone, so we have to have people we can trust.
How do you get them to that point? Because I know in other situations, I know where store owners leave and sales go down, you know, and sales are down reflective of that store, of that lack of presence. So how did you get your staff to that point?
Now you take it.
Well, we, you know, through training and, you know, through seeing what we don't want, you know, they aren't all just fabulous coming out of the gate. We've trained them as to what we expect. We want someone to act as if we would. They see us on the floor because we are so. If we are in town, we are on the floor.
Right.
I mean, we work 6 or 7 days a week when we are in town.
Yes.
So they see that, they know what we expect, and they emulate that.
We have sales goals every day.
Yeah.
We also have a manager meeting, a 5-minute powwow every day. Here's what we're going to cover. Here's what I've been seeing, or, you know, and everything is positive. And we teach our managers the power of positivity that you bring to your staff, because, you know, it only takes one to sort of like seed. It's all really positive. Keeping your managers happy, keeping those sales goals.
And we had a couple of times where managers would, you know, give us the play-by-play too much.
Yeah.
And it was things that they could take care of on our behalf. And we don't need to hear that. And so also telling them we're not micromanaging, that's a situation that came up. You took care of it. Thank you so much. I don't need the play-by-play. Just at our 5-minute meeting, we can go through it. So it also empowers them to just do it.
And they make decisions, and they don't feel like we're over them.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you really, like, empowerment is the golden nugget here, and you empower them, but you also make it safe for them so that if they make a decision that's maybe not the best one, like, they're okay with it because at least they tried. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely. And with our buyers, you know, when you're training a new buyer, which we recently did, who is phenomenal. I think she's the best buyer we've ever had. But, you know, buying wrong is the only way to learn how to buy. Because if you don't buy wrong, to say, actually, strapless doesn't do that well,
or you paid too much,
paid too much, or
too little.
Yeah.
I will often get on a buyer for paying too little and maybe not knowing that brand, maybe saying, you know what, you know, we should have paid a little bit more because we're going to charge this.
Yeah.
So, you know, in every direction.
But it's not getting on them, it's training.
Exactly.
we allow them to make mistakes.
Yeah, there's hounding and there's training, and we are a training community here of women. We're not here to hound anyone. And you know, I think the most important note of this, when you talk about employees, I think our employees take a big part of our business. I mean, I see it as a we. We really are more like a family and take ownership. We talk about some of our employees, most of our employees, that they're lifers. We call them lifers because we want them to be with us forever. And in that, we want to make sure that they're happy. You know, if they're not happy, then how can they present a good face to the public? So, you know, we have people that are with us forever.
Yeah.
And we want them to be happy. And then in turn, they show that to the public.
Yeah, and we have one that's been here 16 years,
18.
one 18 years, one that's been here 7 years, one that's been
10.
here 10 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of,
And it's part of it is the three of us are constantly in tune with the culture here.
Yeah.
And keeping it positive and knowing the culture.
yeah, and we've also hired a lot of new people because of our growth. We've literally doubled our business in 1 year.
Yeah.
So-
Our business has doubled.
Yeah.
Since 2017 to 2018, our business has doubled.
Yeah.
Being consistent with Facebook sales has really increased and driven more business as
Yeah.
well.
The book,
Yeah.
Facebook Live.
Yeah, I say it's
Resale.
a perfect storm of 5 things that have contributed to doubling our sales, and sometimes in some months tripled. And so when you look at sustainability, if even 2 of those go away, we still have these other 3 that are driving the massive increase in our business. It's been spectacular.
So what would you say are those 5 things? Can you name them? Can you list them off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Well, I mean, obviously the Facebook Live. has
Facebook
been-
Live every Tuesday, Thursday, no matter what. Even the girls have come to us and said, we're really busy or we're understaffed. And I said, you know what? Then do 5 things.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, knowing when to switch gears, but like be consistent, just like business hours. I've always said since day one, keep your business hours, be professional.
So Facebook Live, the book.
I think the book has been outrageously successful. I mean, once again, I'm in awe of, you know, I just wrote this little book and I just never dreamed that it would do what it's doing, but it's bringing a massive amount of people
Press.
in,
A lot of
and
press.
press.
32 national interviews as well as local.
Yeah, I mean, huge national interviews that people are calling us now saying, oh, my sister has a closet full of Chanel and I'm going to send it
Yeah.
because of the book. So that once again, I'm telling you, if you put the book in your
Right.
stores,
Yeah.
you know, just a little
Yeah.
display it has really brought. So then you have that, you have the book. I think
Resale.
resale in general, I really want to talk to everybody. I'm dying to get to a conference to see, have your sales doubled or is it just us? So, you know,
Resale is hot.
Yeah,
And
it is.
it's not just for resale shoppers anymore. It's go to Club Monaco in New York, go to Dillard's
Yeah.
here. It's everybody has a section of pre-owned.
Right,
It's
yeah.
cool, it's hip.
Yeah.
So, you know, when other people are, you know, upset that there's a competitor, we love it. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
the more the merrier.
Yeah, it gives people more of a reason. And, you
I
know,
feel that way about the online stores too. I'm not scared of Real or
oh,
any of that.
no.
If anything, people that have never even heard of a resale shop, they're like, there's this online store and they're finding us.
And really, the millennials are really into altruism and shopping and keeping it eco-friendly, sustainability, the secondhand luxury market. They really find it rather more stylish to brag about getting a better deal at a resale store.
Yeah, and we recently had one of these big operations come to St. Louis, and you know, we were like, hey, you know, it's not going to bother us. It literally, they could, if they would have put a sign in their operation saying, please go to the Vault Luxury Resale.
It was
What it did to the
unbelievable.
people in our town was like, wait a minute. You know, these people are in our town. I
Right.
think I'm going to see what they. So
We
I mean,
wanted to send them a thank you.
yeah, we
Yeah.
really did.
So like stop being scared
Oh,
of
yeah.
these big guys because they're only raising awareness.
Yeah. And you know, one of the last components to that is we give back, and I mean in a huge way.
Yeah.
Since we've been here, we have given over $200,000 to local
charities, all local charities. We had one young single mother that had cancer. We paid her rent for 3 months. So I mean, and you know, at times when you look at that figure, hundreds of thousands, it seems like a lot, but honestly, the more we give, the more we get back. And it showers on us. We're now doing Operation Food Search. I'm a keynote speaker at their huge function, and every CEO from St. Louis will be there. And we're giving them, we have donated over $20,000 that just came out of our pocket to that Operation Food Search, because we believe in that. They're the largest food donator in all of the metropolitan area. So we've given them 20,000 plus, and it will come back. So you have to know that the more you give, the more you get. And that's just, that's the law of the universe. And it has come to pass with us.
It is the law of the universe. Sue, have you ever studied Napoleon Hill?
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh, yeah.
I thought so. Do you know I'm a Napoleon Hill? I'm an instructor.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Of
wow.
course
I don't
you
know
are.
Napoleon Hill.
I'm a certified Napoleon Hill instructor. Yeah, that's my other life that most people in the
Awesome.
consignment industry
Well,
don't know
I
about.
also study Ayurvedic astrology, and I am a Dharma Karma Adipati Yoga. So look that one up in Vedic astrology.
I don't know Vedic astrology, but I'm familiar with the yoga. I study Bikram yoga is what I study. So that's you know, and I was reading your book, and there's so many of those 17 laws of success that are so prevalent in your book. And I thought, you know, I just have to ask.
Oh, yes. I love Napoleon Hill. I mean, you know, everything in life really is so simple. And where the problems come in is when you try to make it hard. You know, if you just do everything out of love, then it just comes back to you, and get rid of the fear.
That Sue's always said, KISS.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. All right. So we're going to go a few extra minutes here since we got a late start. We'll wrap up soon, but I just want to ask a few more questions. I do want to talk a little bit about, I got your perspective on the online businesses and what they've done. I would like to hear how you would address a store owner whose handbag department is on the major decline because a lot of their customers a lot of their suppliers are now being persuaded to supply, you know, these other big online like The Real Real. What would your advice be to some of those business owners?
I say let them know what you've contributed to their community, which is what we do. We say, you know, look at our board. We've given over $200,000 to your community because you chose to not only shop with us, but also supply with us. And again, goes back to what I said, switch gears a little bit. Maybe you got to pay it a little bit more, but you know what? You know, it's maybe that's what you need to do to get that supply.
You can also seed yourself. I know there's companies that you can buy because like attracts like.
Yes.
We're blessed that we have so many handbags, but if I didn't, I would reach out to a wholesaler and get some, even if they're not flippable necessarily, and you're not going to make something you're not going to lose.
Exactly.
And seed it. Because until we had David Yurman or Louis Vuitton, we never got it until we had it.
I mean, we were low on Chanel for a while, and then now we're growing Chanel. It's crazy. I should bring my Chanel bag in. They say when they see that, or they see that YSL. I have a YSL. I'm not using that. Remember the people from conference, Marquis, Lepre. You know, these are organizations that can help beef up your handbag.
Yeah. And what about people that come in and when they see Lululemon, which is one of our best sellers, they said, "You take Lululemon?"
Right.
It's, you know, have what you want.
We've got a great line that we say on the phone, and we say it on the phone because they never think about it, and they're getting their stuff together. We take everything from Lululemon to Louis Vuitton and everything in between. So the other thing I'd have to say to the note about, you know, competing with these big people, we're casting a wider net than they are. As far as brands go, we do Chico's, we do this and that. So we're not necessarily cherry picking, and you know, they have to decide, you know, who they're going to supply with. Well, are they going to use these
send all this stuff that they're perhaps not gonna take. So we make, bottom line is we tell everybody, we make it easy.
And to that point, make it easy.
Yeah.
We have visited stores that have certain hours that they take, certain days that they take, certain amounts that they take. I mean, we are no appointment, no limit, and it works. We see 1,000 items a day every day because we're good and we're laser focused. And I challenge anyone, that says there's no way we could do that. You could.
Yeah, we've been doing it forever, and people say oftentimes, oh, I have a lot. Well, their version of a lot. We the average buy takes us 5 minutes.
5 minutes and you go
No,
through.
no drop and runs. We're done with it.
Yeah, no drop and runs.
Yeah, and another thing, Laura just recently did a huge promotion, which was spectacular.
Oh,
And it was eat local, sell local, buy local. So we went to a local small business restaurant and we bought $100 gift certificates from them. And we put out, it said, if you sell Louis Vuitton, Chanel, or Gucci to us, you get $100 dinner on us.
yeah.
It was spectacular. We had so many people. We just went last night and bought $1,500 worth of these gift cards.
But it was dinner on us. It was
Yeah,
brilliant.
it was-
Loved it.
Yeah.
And even
And
like,
do your version, $25.
yeah, it doesn't have to be. And even like on the fence about selling a Gucci, well, I never use it, and I get dinner. Keep it small. We did it for like 2 weeks.
Not even.
And don't be overwhelmed by any promotion that you're doing. Keep it on a level, on your comfort level.
Yeah, and it could have been $50.
Yeah.
I think 50, I thought it should have been $50
We went all in.
actually.
We wanted to go all in.
They go big or go home.
But the bottom line is then I sold a $700 Gucci handbag. So I took $100 for their dinner off my end.
Exactly.
And you know what? Our supply really bulked up.
And a $2,800 Chanel bag we sold.
Yeah.
It's $100.
Yeah, so that was a great promotion that anybody is welcome to do.
Yeah.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. And it's what a great way to keep the local economy.
Yeah. And not to mention the restaurants also promoted it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And another way, again, competing with these online people that don't have a face, they're not family, and they're not out supporting local. I think it's really important to tell your suppliers that.
So I have just a few more questions. And again, beautiful segue, Laura. Thank you. Tell me what it's like working with family.
Everybody stays in their own lane. That's what we laugh at. We all do really different things, so it works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dream of doing an event.
Right. Good, because she wouldn't be good at it.
We scream at each other. And I mean, we have some blow ups, but it's over in 3 minutes and but we don't hold anything in. And these are my best friends in the world. I mean, absolutely. There's nobody in the world I'd rather work with. And, it's a unique situation because I started the business, but I really at this point know that Laura knows much more than I do about labels. And yet I'm a better buyer than she is because I completely take the emotion out. So if we can learn, and we do, we meld that and work together. So it really is perfect. And Diana takes care of everything for us. So, I mean, it's absolutely perfect to have these two people in my life. I can't even imagine having ever to go it alone.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Those are great words. And I think, again, another golden nugget here is so many of us do, I own a business with my husband. And I think the key nugget here is like you said it beautifully, Laura, like we all stay in our own lanes.
Right.
And I think
everybody's trying to do
that
the same thing. How can it possibly work?
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. Knowing each other's strengths and then knowing what your weaknesses are and what each other's weaknesses are as well. And then just saying, hey, that's your territory. I'm not going to get involved.
Right.
So I
And
love
you trust
that.
they all get it done. And none of us
Yep.
can work any harder than the other,
No,
because we
God,
all
no.
work 6 days a week when we're here. So it's never a matter of, hey,
Yeah.
I need off. So,
No,
we
no.
all get it.
And we're all glad when one of us can
Yeah.
take off.
Yes,
Please
we
take
do
off.
say, save
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Save
sometimes.
yourself.
Yeah.
I love that. That's funny. All right. So just a couple final questions. This is a fun question. You have all met amazing, amazing people. And I want to hear from each of you. Is there one person that you can share? Because I know some you can't share. Is there one person that you can share that did kind of take your breath away, leave you a little like starstruck of like, oh my gosh? Is there one person?
Oh yeah, Oprah.
Oprah took your breath away. Tell me about that.
Yes. Well, Mom and I met Oprah at a cocktail party before she did an event, and she was all that we thought she would be. And I had always known that we were going to work together somehow, and so that was it. And when I came home from that meeting, my husband's like, "You finally did it. You met her, and there's what you've been looking for." And I go, "That wasn't it, though. There's going to be more." It didn't feel like, as big or as much, but it was awesome.
Awesome. So how about for you, Laura? Who was your star?
Well, as you know, Rachel Zoe was one of the producers on Resale Royalty, our show on Style Network. And I have to be honest, she was more than I thought she would be. She was gracious. She was, I thought, well, maybe when I meet her, she's going to be some diva.
Yeah.
And we had drinks with them in New York one time upon one of our first meetings. And she was late, but Roger, her husband, was there, who is adorable. And he said, "I'm so sorry she's late. She's running around town trying to find diamond earrings for the nanny. And, she just takes care of everybody but herself." But it was a pleasant surprise knowing that as huge a stylist as she is, that she was also a very kind
And
person.
they call her Mama Bear because she cooks for everybody. Mm-hmm. She takes care of everybody. And that was surprising to us.
Wow, that is really surprising. So Sue, how about for you?
Well, I am impressed. I'm not impressed by money or fame. And I can think of just the little people. And I mean, just a little woman that walks into the store and then just bears her soul. To me, that's my mission in life, to be there, to be exactly where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there. And so that touches my soul. And so I'm more in tune to that than being impressed. I mean, who isn't impressed by Oprah or Rachel Zoe and I mean, 100 celebrities that we've met. Heidi Klum loved me. She was lovely and very kind. And, but I think of, when you said that, there's one little woman that just comes in here and she just wants to talk to me. Yeah. So, I mean, we're so busy here. It's unbelievable the way we're running around. But I know that in that moment, I'm supposed to give her this time that she needs, and that it'll be good for my spirit too. So that's what I do. I stop and back off and give her that time. And that's what impresses me, that opportunity.
Well, that is just really, really beautiful. And I wouldn't have expected anything else from you, Sue. I was hoping for a little starstruck moment, but that's okay. It's a beautiful moment. And I think that really exemplifies like who you are and who all three of you are as people and why you're so successful. You're all so generous and gracious. So my last question that I have for you is, there are over 20,000 resale stores in the United States. And I don't know if that number or not, but 20,000 resale stores in the US alone. What would you like to tell them all right now?
What I would like to say is that, when I opened 30 years ago, I remember that figure, and I remember that like only 6% of the American public had ever even heard of a consignment shop. And at that time, I was so encouraged by that, because in my mind, I thought, well, then we have 93% of the American public that we still can turn on to resale. And, through NARTS, which is, one of the most phenomenal organizations, I contribute 50% of my success to NARTS. And it's just being with those people, that are new, that they come to the industry with no preconceived notions, that they're just there to learn. And I learn more from them than I do from anyone else. So I would say to any resale shop, if you are not a NARTS member or attending a NARTS conference, you're missing out big time. So that's my word.
I agree.
Yeah.
And think outside the box. Yeah. Don't say this is the way we've always done it, or that's not what resale stores do.
Right.
You can go to market like Nordstrom's does and buy new accessories. You can do whatever works for your store.
And know how to promote yourself. This is silly. I always say have your 5-minute elevator speech, which we have perfected.
Yes.
We have a 7,000 square foot showroom. We've been in business for 30 years. We look at about 1,000 items a day, and we have 15,000 suppliers all over the country that send us things. So you know,
Right.
have your spiel ready to impress people
Yeah.
outside of your store. That's going to make them want to come in.
Brilliant. That is brilliant, brilliant advice. And I hope that we can get this interview in front of at least half of those 20,000 stores.
I hope so too.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. So Sue, hold your book up for us again for everyone to see.
Good,
And
better, best.
good,
Buy
better,
the book.
best. This is available
Buy
on
the book and put it on your countertop.
Buy
It
the
will
book.
help you in so many ways.
And if any of you
Absolutely.
want us to send you a copy that you want to purchase, Sue is happy to sign that copy and send it to whomever as well. I just had a woman come in. I mean, when you read the book, people lose their minds. They came in, she bought 10 of them for Christmas gifts to all of her girlfriends.
Right, yeah.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic. Let's see. I've got a few questions that popped up here. Lots of people saying hello. Paulette Baker says hello. Keenan,
hi,
Paulette.
We love Paulette.
And Colleen,
yes, ma'am.
the book definitely transcends resale. The life story aspect of it is I mean, the growing up homeless is people just it's such a good story.
Yeah, my poverty has served me well.
It's an amazing story. So I do have a question here from Kelsey Greer. I don't know if you know Kelsey. I have met her.
Yes.
She is adorable. I'm so inspired by her and her husband. They're kind of like the new young face of resale. And I'm having a hard time pulling up her whole entire question here, but here we go. What are some ideas on getting sellers into your store selling product who wouldn't normally shop resale?
That you would normally what?
So her question is, what are some ideas on getting sellers into your store selling product who wouldn't normally, well, she says who wouldn't normally shop resale. So I'm not sure if she's looking at.
Maybe she means
Yeah.
getting just somebody who only sells to shop resale. Maybe
No,
that.
I think
no?
she means people
Well,
that
she
don't
wants-
even know about you.
She
to
wants
sell.
suppliers.
So one idea, Mom had made up cards a while ago that said, you know, I like your style, and you know, it promoting yourself. When you see a woman with a great Chanel handbag or Louis, say, love your bag. If you ever want to sell it, take my card.
And it said that on the card, I like your style. When
Yeah.
you're ready to pass it on, please call us at the
Exactly.
Vault Luxury Resale. And it did bring us some suppliers.
And then targeting Facebook ads. Not, you know, you can also boost on Facebook, but Facebook ads targeted to people who like Chanel, Louis,
Right.
Gucci. You can, you know, how you can get down
Right.
very intimately to that person.
And you know, really, maybe as simple as you get a phenomenal supplier and hand her some cards and say, we would love your friends.
Yeah.
She's probably got like-minded friends that love designer things. She has a great experience with you, and then tells all of her friends. We get that a lot.
Yeah,
You
and
know-
shout it out. People know their business so intimately, but they don't tell
Right.
about it. I can't tell you how many
Right,
businesses we
it's
follow
true.
that don't talk about what they actually do.
Mhm.
You know, and every once in a while, an e-blast that says, "Did you know?"
Right.
We look at 1,000 items a day, every day. No appointment necessary. Like,
And we're often
Remind.
marinating in our own business. I do all of our social media. I took a picture of the back room, which
Oh, yeah.
I think is a disaster because there's so much. I took a picture of the back room, put it on social media. People came in droves. They said, I had no idea that you had that much, you know, because you look at an Instagram account and you see one thing. Well, what they don't know is we have a 7,000 square foot beautiful showroom gleaming with gold and white.
and show that. Do a live video
Yeah,
of your space.
Don't always assume everybody knows what you have.
Thank you for those. And Kelsey, I hope that answers your question. She did say she was looking in reaching an audience that is a resale shop is not appealing to. So what about
Yeah.
shoppers? I think you kind of answered that, but did you have anything else?
Right. And so make that shop appealing to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
okay,
some of
great.
you
So
have
she
to
is,
have your elevator speech.
yeah, so she is saying thank you for that. So great. Those are all amazing ideas. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
if you
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I feel so honored to be interviewing
feel
you,
honored.
knowing your
Yes, we do.
guest lineup of interviewees.
Hopefully we can shout out when and what our national press is, because it's coming, but we're not supposed to talk about it.
I totally can't wait for that. Please shout it out. Feel free to shout it out on consignment marketing. Shout it out to me. I have a big mouth.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen.
you,
Thank
give
you,
us a little
everyone.
Bye.
Can you give us a tour of your store before we head
Oh,
out?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, die you.
Give us a
How's
tour.
that work?
Okay,
Buy her lunch.
okay, can everyone see? Wave.
Yep, we can see perfectly.
Carrie's camera shy.
Beautiful.
Laura, can you see if they're seeing it?
Yes, they are.
Yep, we can see it. It's, oh, look at that beautiful handbag display. Gorgeous displays. Look at those beautiful handbag displays and accessories. Absolutely stunning. Oh, that is
Wave.
very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Fabulous staff and shoppers, some shopping going on.
Did it work?
It worked perfectly. That was a perfect store video. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much again for your time. We're going to sign off and you guys have a fabulous day and we will see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.